Hello guys. So today I am going to share my thoughts about the protein and share the information about its functions, structure and the classification and the sources of the protein. So let's begin with the what is protein. So protein is a highly complex substance that is present in all the living organisms. Proteins are of the great nutritional value and are directly involved in the chemical processes essential for the life. The importance of the protein was recognized by the chemists in the early 19th century, including the Swedish chemist John Jacob Berzelius, who was in 1838 coined the term protein, a word which was derived from the Greek proteos, which means holding the first place. Protein are the species specific, that is, the protein of one species differ from the another species. They are also the organ specific, for instance, within a single organism. Muscle protein differs from those of the brain and the liver. So a protein molecule is very large compared with the molecule of the sugar or the salt and consists of many amino acids joined together to form a long chain, much as beads are rearranged to an string. There are about 20 different amino acids that occur naturally in the protein. Protein of the similar function have the similar amino acids composition and sequence. Although it is not yet possible to explain all of the functions of the protein from its amino acid sequence, established a correlation between the structure and the function can be attributed to the protein properties of the amino acids that compose of protein. Plants can synthesize all of the amino acids. Animals cannot even thought all of them are essential for the life. Plants can grow in the medium containing inorganic nutrients that provide nitrogen, potassium, and other substances essential for the growth. They utilize the carbon dioxide in the air during the process of the photosynthesis to form organic compounds such as carbohydrates. Animals, however, must obtain organic nutrients from outside the source. Because the protein content of most plant is low, very large amount of the plant and material are required by the animals, such as ruminants, which is example are cow, that eat only plant material to meet the amino acid requirement. Non-ruminant animals, including the human, obtain protein principally from animals and their product. Example which is meat, milk and eggs. The seeds of the legumes are increasingly being used to prepare the inexpensive protein-rich foods. So let us discuss about the classification of the protein. So the classification of the protein is done on the basis of the following such as shape, constitution, and nature of the molecule. So on the basis of the shape, the protein is classified into two types, which is fibrous protein, which is also called as scleroprotein, and the globular protein. So the fibrous protein, we can find this protein in the animals and are insoluble in water. Fibrous proteins are resistant to priolytic enzymes and are coiled and exist in the thread-like structure to form fibers. Example, collagen, actin, and the myosin. Keratin in the hair, claws, feathers, etc. Whereas in the globular protein, this protein, unlike the fibrous protein, are soluble in the water. They are made up of the polypeptides that are coiled about themselves to form the oval and or the spherical molecules. That is, example are albumin, insulin, and the hormones like oxytocin, etc. So on the basis of the constituent, it is classified into three types, which is simple protein. So these are the protein which are made up of the amino acids only. Example which is albumin, globulin, and the prolamine, etc. Whereas in the conjugated protein, so these are the complex protein that are combined with the characteristics of non-amino acid substance called as the prosthetic group. They are of the following types, which is nucleoprotein, combination of the protein and the nucleic acid, mucoprotein, which is combination of protein along with the carbohydrate, glycoprotein, which is combination of protein and the carbohydrate, which is less than 4%, and the chromoprotein is a combination of protein and the colored pigments. Lipoprotein is a combination of protein and the lipids. Meloprotein is a combination of the protein and the metal ions, and the phosphoprotein is a combination of the protein and the phosphate group. And the third one is the derived protein. When the protein are hydrolyzed by the acid, alkyls, and the enzymes, the derivation product obtained from them are called as the derived protein. On the basis of the nature of the molecule, it is classified into two types, which is acid protein and the basic protein. So in acid protein, they exist in the anions and contain the acidic amino acid, which example is the blood group. And whereas in the basic protein, they exist as cation and are rich in basic amino acid, which example is lysine and arginine, etc. So I want to share some information regarding the best sources of the protein. So the best sources are the such as eggs. So we love to cook them with how much protein it has. So one medium egg has around 6 grams of the protein in an easily digestible form. The second example is milk. So dairy food are packed with the protein and contain a bone building calcium too. Chocolate milk is an old age recovery food after exercise. Since it contains the energy replacing carbohydrates and blend of both slow and fast release whey and casein protein. The third one could be a yogurt, a combination of the casein and whey protein. Yogurt is the great protein rich food. Since some of the lactose is removed, it may be a useful option if you are lactose intolerant. And fish and seafood. So fish and seafood are the good sources of the protein and are typically low in fat, while slightly higher in the fat than other varieties. So a salmon packs in the heartily healthy omega-3 fatty acids, which can reduce the joint stiffness and even the inflammation. So these were some of the best sources of the protein. So this was the information regarding the protein, its classification and the sources. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you like the video. Thank you so much.